Welcome back to SwitchCorner, Volume 12 of our Switch Gems series. I've taken the word hidden out of the name. That way you can't hold it against me if you think I'm being a little bit too, generous to call them hidden. Here though, we break down some obvious gems and then a whole lot of not so obvious gems that you may want to potentially consider adding to your library. Now if you haven't seen volumes 1 through 11, then why not head there after this one. I'll be linking that playlist at the end of this video if you want to, get ready to spend some cash or simply pad out that wish list. As always then, look, expect me to be breaking down what the game is all about, why I love it personally, and then who out there, might enjoy it too. So with that, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here, join our growing family, and let's get started. So first up today, this week I got to spend my 200th review for the channel with the mighty Yuri and the Will of the Wisps. That though got me thinking about more obscure platformers I've played, over the last 2 years of this channel, and it took me back to Yuri. Yuri is a stunning little platformer at a budget price point. In fact, on that note, it was double this price originally, but they most recently added a permanent price drop to sweeten the deal even further, and honestly, you just really can't knock it. What will stand out to you immediately, the absolutely stunning visuals. While it's not the most detailed of worlds, you'll just see some incredible skill on show with these hand-drawn characters and locations. The idea here though, it's a fast-paced platformer where you find yourself treating your bed like a skateboard, and really it's nothing more than traverse from beginning to end, but the world you're in just makes it an absolute joy. It for sure has some issues. The pace of the bed can be a tiny bit fast, leading to some frustrating deaths. Just occasionally as well, the art doesn't always make it clear where you need to head, but honestly these are small compared to the rest of the package. The best part of it all, I gotta say as well, a stunning soundtrack that adds to the game too, one I'm still hoping to see get a physical release one day so I can listen to it offline. Then also I will say that recent permanent price cut just makes it a must buy from the second you start this up. The clear passion that went into it is immediate, and I promise you that feeling will stick with you from beginning to end. Alright, so Hades released this week and I have a review dropping shortly on that very title, but I was surprised to see in the comments just how many folks weren't really aware of their previous work. So let's take a look at one, and this game is Transistor. It pretty much is a masterpiece in every single way. This sci-fi themed action RPG though just gets so many things right on so many different levels. Not the longest of games, I'll put that out there now. You're looking at about maybe 7 hours for a full playthrough, but what a 7 hours it is. Honestly, for me, this is the pinnacle of Supergiant's work so far, and it's one I hope everyone experiences at least once, as it brings together its cyberpunk stylings and storytelling with an incredibly deep combat system and world to traverse. Transistor, it never holds your hand, it rarely tells you what you should be doing honestly, but somehow you never really feel lost here. That just shows you how good they are at making these types of games. This mystery story though, I don't want to spoil anything, but just know you do get a talking sword. It does get that weird. Then it's throwing in some basic almost like strategy elements as you get the ability to freeze time. Throw this together then with items to collect, abilities to learn, skills to upgrade. You'll even get a stunning jazz soundtrack just to really round out the package. An absolute masterpiece of a game and an example of how you do the ARPG genre justice. You'll visit this one more than once, I can nearly guarantee that. Alright, so with Rollercoaster Tycoon 3 dropping on the Switch this week, or at least at time of recording, let's talk about Pint Hospital, because I personally would really love to see Theme Hospital make its way to the Switch, but for now this one will more than do. Pint Hospital is just that though, a hospital management sim that, like its influences, didn't forget to add the fun factor to the entire experience, and that's really what I want to focus on today. Management sims are often seen as slow paced, tense at times, a whole lot of menus, and yeah, couldn't be more true, but they balance this fine line between the calm and the storm, jumping frequently between the two. Why I like Pint Hospital so much though is it's down to the fact it brings a humour to the table as well. Yes, the hospital setting can no doubt be serious, but some of the illnesses and ailments you'll see here are just another level. Expect to see everything from clowns roaming the hallways to shrunken heads. The animations and then this almost like science fiction equipment, it will just make this feel like a very special and very unique game on the Switch. It does have a few minor performance issues, I'll say that much, and there's a very clear visual downgrade, but it can't take away from the incredible tribute it is to just a classic in the genre. Puzzle fans know the Talos Principle. This first-person puzzler has been out for some time, having played it originally on a friend's VR unit. I got hooked there and I decided to then give the Switch build a go, and it did not disappoint. In fact, in many ways, I gotta say I preferred the non-VR-like version more, though granted, I will say the immersion was a little bit lower. Where the Talos Principle succeeds, though, is in its story. While I don't want to, give anything away, the idea is simple enough. You awake in this strange, contradictory world of ancient ruins and then almost like advanced technology. What is your purpose, though? What is this place? Why do you exist as an artificial intelligence unit? That is very much for you to figure out, as your creator actually challenges you to solve increasingly difficult puzzles. This philosophical science fiction experience, though, it's a whole lot deeper than it may initially lead you to believe. While it is slow paced throughout, there's no doubt about that. It's almost like borderline walking simulator. Story fans, I suggest you take a look at this one for something that feels very different to anything else out there. Throw in then with this download the DLC, and yeah, it's for sure a high price tag, but it's absolutely worth every single bit of that price. So our final game of the week then, I'm not sure how hidden this is, but I don't hear too many mention it, and it's for sure a gem. Everspace Stellar Edition. This is a game down to its visual requirements, honestly, I never thought would make it to the Switch. And somehow they not only managed it, but they delivered a relatively stable experience. This actually gives me some hope that Elite Dangerous may one day make its way to the Switch. But I'm gonna say this, I'm not holding my breath on what is probably one of the best science fiction games ever made, but also one of the most graphically intense ones as well. Everspace, though, a more than suitable substitute. Here, though, it's basically a roguelike in space, so you're going to pilot your ship, jump from sector to sector, do a whole lot of fighting, a whole lot of resource collecting, die and repeat. When you die, though, it's back to the beginning, but you do take any cash you earned in hand, meaning not only can you upgrade your ship, allowing you to be more powerful, but also open up a ton of new possibilities on the exploration front. If I have any sci-fi fans out there that have watched their fair share of sci-fi movies through the years, or even daydreamed of going to space as a kid or an adult, this is absolutely the game for you. Now granted, I'm sure those dreams didn't include dying on repeat, but what a rewarding gameplay loop it turns out to be, and there's something incredible just about piloting your ship around this galaxy. While the graphics, I will say, are not perfect, I think it's fair to point out it is a demanding game, and for the most part this compromise has led to some really solid performance. This game, though, it just absolutely captures the magic of dogfights in space, something no doubt we all love to see in a video game. Throw into the mix then, though, a lengthy 30-hour experience, a decent enough story that hits all the genre tropes, different ships to experiment with, crafting, system management, different displays, a digital art book, a digital soundtrack, even a DLC that includes a new ship, side missions, new weapons and alien life forms. This is about as good as a package gets and shows you how to do a definitive edition the right way. Incredible game that is absolutely challenging, but you will reap the rewards if you dive into this one headfirst. Just go for it. You're gonna die a lot along the way, but I promise you the end game absolutely worth it. And that is it, another week down. A little bit more obvious this week, as it's been kind of a crazy week for reviews on the channel. I'm going to link them all here at the end of the video, but also in the pinned comment down below. As always then, a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. Truly is appreciated, and it does help more than you know, so thank you all so much. If you want to check that out for yourself, as I say, it's linked in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.